Have you ever stared up at the night sky and thought, what's beyond all of this? Beyond our sun, beyond the stars, beyond everything we've ever known? Now imagine this. One day, humanity leaves the Milky Way galaxy. Not just a moon landing, not even Mars. I mean, we leave the entire galaxy behind, like a cosmic escape, a permanent goodbye to everything we've ever called home. Sounds insane, right? But is it impossible? Or is there a way? Before you answer that, let me ask you something else. Do you know how big our galaxy really is? The Milky Way is enormous, 100,000 light years across. That's just our galaxy. To cross it at the speed of light, which, by the way, we can't do, it would take 100,000 years. To go beyond it, into another galaxy, that's millions of light years away. Now here's the scary part. The closest one to us, Andromeda, is moving toward us. Fast. One day, about 4 billion years from now, it'll crash into the Milky Way. 2 entire galaxies colliding. So here's the question. Will we still be here when that happens? And if we are, will we just watch it happen? Or will we already be gone? What if we could escape? Let's explore that. But be warned, this journey takes us to the edge of science, into deep time, black space, and some of the most mind-warping ideas humanity has ever imagined. Right now, every single human in history has lived and died inside this one galaxy. We've never even come close to leaving it. The farthest object we've ever sent into space, Voyager 1, is about 15 billion miles away. Sounds huge, right? But that's not even a single light day. And remember, the Milky Way is 100,000 light years wide. So, leaving the galaxy? Yeah, it's absurd, crazy, impossible, unless we find a way to cheat the rules. Because here's the truth. Nature has rules. The biggest one? Nothing can go faster than light. Thanks, Einstein. It's one of the most solid rules in physics. If you try to accelerate a spaceship closer and closer to the speed of light, your energy needs skyrocket. At light speed, you'd need infinite energy. And infinite energy doesn't exist. So what the heck do we do? Well, maybe we bend the rules, just a little. There's a theory that might allow it. Something weird, something terrifying. Wormholes. What if I told you that space can fold? That 2 places in the universe, millions of light years apart, could be connected by a tunnel, a literal shortcut through space and time? That's a wormhole. And yeah, they're real. At least mathematically. Einstein and Rosen came up with the concept in the 1930s. They imagined 2 black holes linked together by a bridge, a tunnel through the fabric of reality. It's like taking a piece of paper, folding it in half, and punching a hole through. You don't go around the galaxy, you go through it. But here's the creepy part. Wormholes are unstable. So unstable that if you tried to enter one, it could collapse instantly. The tunnel snaps shut like a bear trap, unless you hold it open. To do that, you'd need something exotic, something with negative energy, something we've never been able to create in a lab. Not dark matter, not antimatter, something even weirder. If we could harness that, negative energy or exotic matter, we might stabilize a wormhole. But right now, it's science fiction. Still, if wormholes are possible, even in theory, then what's on the other side? Would you survive the journey? Or would it stretch you out, tear you to atoms, spit you into a part of the universe where the laws of physics don't even work? Would time still move forward? Would you even know who you are when you come out the other end? Let's step back for a second. Say we ditch wormholes for now. No shortcuts, just the long road. Can we just travel? Well, kind of. But the distances are stupidly huge. Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away. If we traveled at 10% the speed of light, which is already sci-fi speed, it would still take 25 million years. That's longer than humans have existed. So maybe we build generation ships, massive spacecraft where people are born, live, die, and pass the mission on to their children. Space arcs. The crew lives their whole lives knowing they'll never reach the destination. Would you get on that ship? Would you raise kids who know they'll die in space before humanity reaches its new home? That's not a journey. That's an entire civilization adrift in the dark for eternity. And yet, it's possible, technically, if we build the right kind of ship, with the right kind of systems. Artificial gravity, food, medicine, mental health care, radiation shielding, even culture. But there's a darker question. What happens if they forget the mission? What if, after 1,000 years, they lose track of why they're even traveling? Do they become spaceborne humans with no past and no future? That's the terrifying risk of generation ships. Time doesn't just stretch, it erodes. Here's another wild idea. What if we don't make the trip at all? What if we send our minds? Imagine uploading your consciousness into a digital form, then launching it into space at light speed. No food, no oxygen, no aging. Just thought. Just data. You could survive for millennia. Maybe when you arrive, you build bodies, clone yourself, rebuild Earth from DNA stored on a chip. Or maybe you just live inside a virtual dream, in some computer floating between galaxies. Cold, alone, but eternal. Is that immortality? Or is it just a digital ghost drifting forever? But wait, there's a glitch in the universe we can use. It's called time dilation. As you get close to the speed of light, time slows down for you compared to everyone else. That means you could fly to a galaxy millions of light years away, and to you, it would feel like decades. The catch? Everyone you knew would be long dead. Earth would be ancient history. The universe itself would be changed when you arrived. Would it still feel like home if no one was waiting for you? And then, we have the warp drive. Yup, that's real. Sort of. In 1994, physicist Miguel Alcubierre came up with a solution to Einstein AS equations that allows for a warp bubble. Inside the bubble, time and space stay calm. Outside, space compresses in front of you and expands behind. You ride a wave of warped space. And the best part? You're not technically moving faster than light. Space itself is doing the work. Sound insane? It is. But the math works. The bad news? To make a warp bubble you need, guess what? Negative energy. Again, we keep running into the same wall. Exotic materials that we just haven't figured out yet. But let me ask you this. What if we're just one discovery away? What if one breakthrough, one strange new particle, blows this whole thing wide open? Now here's the really eerie part. We might not have a choice. Our galaxy's days are numbered. Andromeda is on a collision course. That's a cosmic train wreck. Yes, the stars themselves probably won't crash into each other, but the gravitational chaos will tear apart star systems. Our sun could be flung out of the galaxy entirely, dragging Earth with it. Or worse, Earth might get pulled into a black hole. Even sooner, our own sun will die. It will swell into a red giant, roasting the Earth into a cinder. So even if we don't want to leave the galaxy, we might have to. What then? Do we stay here, clinging to what we know? Or do we rise to the challenge and escape the spiral arms of this dying home? Let's be honest. We're not ready. We don't have the tech, the energy, the understanding. We're just scratching the surface. But you know what? That's what people said before we flew, before we built rockets, before we walked on the moon. Every impossible thing we've ever done started with a question. What if? So let me ask you, right now, what if the Milky Way is just our starting point? What if the first true humans to leave this galaxy haven't even been born yet? What if their ancestors, us, are just the opening chapter in a far bigger story? One day they'll look back, maybe from another galaxy entirely, maybe from another universe. They'll see Earth as a cradle, a place we outgrew, a home we had to leave, not because we hated it, but because we loved it enough to survive. So, can humans ever leave the Milky Way? Not today, but one day? One day we will.